mayyanantamahāmbhodhāvāścaryaṃ jīvavīcayaḥ udyanti ghnanti khelanti praviśanti svabhāvataḥ.
Wonderful, marvelous. In me, the limitless ocean, the waves of individual selves, according to their nature, rise, jostle about, play for a while, and disappear. Jostling is striking against each other, or in human parlance, fighting against each other. Chinmaya writes, the beauty of this lyrical verse with which the chapter is concluding can ring an echo for a long time in the bosom of a student, even when he has shut the book and finished his studies. It is not only the worlds that are arising in me, the consciousness, but all other living creatures are also born from the same self in me. Just in a dream, as in a dream, the individuals rise, fight their competitive existence, play their sensuous games, and in the end each die away in the world, only to be born again as another wave. When my mind is at rest, all names and forms must necessarily disappear into the pure consciousness, the self that I am. Unquote. The usage of ocean and waves undergoes a change here. The change is necessary because this verse has implication both at the microcosm jiva level and at macrocosm Brahman state. In the individual jivas, the self is the limitless ocean. The mind and body represent creation. Whatever modifications, thoughts, feelings, and other phenomena that arise in them represent the diversity of beings and objects, jīvavīcayaḥ. They are compared to the waves in the ocean self. If the same model is superimposed on the universal self, at the macrocosm level, Brahman is the limitless ocean. He is beyond space, Akasha. All other elements that mark up the materiality of the universe. The material universe and all the beings who appear in it constitute the waves or the transitory phenomena. They arise and fall or appear and disappear in the oceanic self. The mind and the body remain active during the wakeful state. In deep sleep, they disappear as the self alone shines. Their support is the self itself, and their purpose is to entertain the self. They are made up of the tattvas and gunas of nature. Since the jivas are motivated by their predominant gunas, which compete with each other, beings also engage in conflicts and competition according to their desires and essential nature, svabhāva. Hence, Ashtavakra specifically referred to this propensity of the jivas to engage in conflicts and competition when he wrote ghnanti. If we sit and look back, our whole life is but a mere drama, yet a grand drama. Like various scenes in a grand drama, Ashtavakra brings about the drama or dynamism that we are engaged in the drama of our life when he writes about the drama of our life. Udyanti, gnanti, khelanti, praviśanti. I, the self, mistaking my identity as wave, I, the self ocean, mistaking my identity as wave, under the impact of the modifications of my mind, as my mistaken identity, the wave, or my mind's play, I arise, I find, I play, and then I subside. In the sequence of arising, fighting, sporting, playing, and subsiding, the entire drama of life is portrayed most dramatically by the great master Ashtavakra. We may not be consciously aware of all the drama that takes place in us, around us, since we are preoccupied with our own concerns and priorities. However, the self, eternal witness, watches all that we are indulging in the drama of our life. Of course, without the self watches without getting involved. That is why it is called witness. Observes without getting involved. If we close our eyes and just press the replay button to replay the dramatic scenes in our life in the past few months or years, If we observe all the drama that we have engaged in, we are bound to exclaim, aha, how much I arose, how much I competed with others, how much I fought and argued with others, how much I enjoyed the play, the drama of my life. And prior to taking up sadhana with the only purpose of realizing God or self, how all these arising, fighting, playing, everything subsided, disappeared every night in deep sleep. And how this sequence of arising, fighting, playing, and then in the deep sleep disappearing. How this has been happening consistently in the drama of my life. If I sit back and replay my life in my mind, of course. Now, let us broaden our vision. And suppose we are the self, and we are as the self without getting involved, we are observing. It is like the ocean watching all the arising, fighting, dashing against each other, sporting and subsiding of waves, into what? Into itself, the ocean, disappearing into the ocean, but yet arising, yet fighting, yet dancing, yet playing, and then again disappearing. And how much the cycle is continuing. If the ocean could laugh, how much it could laugh at this drama being enacted by the waves. The self, we can say, is the God. That God is not separate from our experience. He is part of our being and shares all our joys and sorrows as our very self. Through the bodies of millions of beings and the material objects which he pervades and envelops, he enjoys watching the great drama of creation without being tainted by any of its impurities and modifications. Hey Maya Nataka Sutradhari. The wondrous, actionless self witnessing the creation is expressed in this verse by Ashtavakra. For the self, creation is like a dream or an imagination. But only difference is, unlike our dreams, the dream of the self, this creation is more organized, systematic and persisting because it lasts longer than our dreams and it outlasts everyone we have the illusion of it being permanent and stable. However, creation is just a temporary wave in God's time or timelessness, Kalatitaya, which will disappear someday in our time, in the distant future, when everything is dissolved or withdrawn into the substratum ocean consciousness. Just like in the previous verse, the ego, the boat, sank and drowned and merged in the substratum ocean consciousness. Hari Om Tat Sat.